You ever seen The Thing, Tress? I just watched it last night. I also watched the sequel. Here's my story. So me and my friends recently have gotten into some board games. Out of nowhere, I was listening to a podcast, and then out of nowhere they were talking about this board game they were playing. And I was like, I actually haven't played like a board game ever. I've played Monopoly and all that, obviously, but I've never like actually played like a nerd game. So I messaged like a group of my friends. I was like, "Hey, you guys interested in doing board games?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, then let's all grab tabletop." I already had tabletop, and I think two other people did. And then I bought it for my other two friends. We all started playing, and we played this board game based on The Thing, called Who Goes There. Solid game, people. I've played it now twice. It's very good. Both times, it's very good. One player plays. There's a deck called Vulnerable Cards. People. Yeah, if you do like board games, then you're a nerd! But we've already discussed nerds and geeks are attractive, but I think you thought geeks were more attractive than nerds. So, there we go. Bloody fucking nerds. Anyway, so there's a deck of vulnerable cards that, under certain scenarios, you draw them, and, most of the cards are blank. There's one card that has blood on it, and if you draw that, you become the Thing. And the rest of the game is, hey, the Thing wants to win by escaping with the survivors and possibly affecting some, but you don't have to. Also, that you could go through the whole game, people drawing cards, but never becoming the Thing, and everyone escapes, or some people escape and get left behind and whatnot. There's a whole reasons for it. Anyway, because we played this, I was like, do you know what? I've never seen The Thing, and I looked on Amazon. It was a double pack on the Blu-ray DVDs. They made they did a prequel in 2011. The original came out, I believe, in 1983. Or no, I think 1982. Anyway, I'm sitting there watching The Thing. I'm watching the original Thing, and the start was like really pixely, so I'm like, oh, I'm absolutely definitely watching the original Thing. Great, fantastic, let's go. And I watched the entire film, and one of the characters, a girl called Kate, is played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I believe that's her name. She plays Ramona Flowers in the Scott Pilgrim film. Anyway, I'm thinking this film's from like 1980, so I'm sitting there going, that looks really like Ramona Flowers. And I know what Ramona Flowers looks like because she's one of my my desktop wallpapers, right? So I know what she looks like. I see her like every day. And and I'm like, hey, she also sounds like Ramona Flowers. I'm like, damn, she's a cutie. She totally is. I'm like, damn, she could. I think she's in her 40s now. Anyway, I'm like, damn, she could have been a replacement for Ramona Flowers. Like, just absolutely, she could have been like a replacement for Mary Elizabeth. And then I like look it up, right? And I'm like, oh, it was Mary Elizabeth. Sweet. When was Mary Elizabeth born? All right, she was born in like 1980. I'm like, okay. And then I went and messaged everybody saying, I just watched The Thing. I can't believe Ramona from Scott Pilgrim's in that film. They go, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, because she was in the... I'm like, I just looked it up. She was in it. They're like, you're talking about the remake, right? And I'm like, no, I watched the original. And they send me a screenshot, like, this film? And I'm like, yeah, that film. They go, that's the remake. And I go, oh, I'm so fucking stupid, because I've actually just looked at her age again. She would have to have been -2 to be in The Thing. The original. She wasn't even born yet to be in that film. Of course she wasn't in that fucking film. So I watched the prequel, and then straight afterwards, one of my friends messaged me. He's like, well, I was actually going to watch The Thing tonight anyway, so do you want to just get in Discord and we'll watch it together? And so we did that. We watched The Thing. We made some jokes. Really good films. I heard people talking like shit on the prequel. I can totally see how people can talk shit on a prequel, but I think actually it's kind of... I think the prequel's okay. It's not as good, but it definitely takes a different approach to the Thing in general, and the Thing acts way differently than it does in the original. It's kind of like, well, how would it be if the Thing was more violent? Because in the original, it's not as violent. I won't go into too much, like, because obviously if people want to watch it, then I don't want to spoil it. But, yeah, no, good film. The original is phenomenal. Damn, that pretty big is looking... Whoa! I recently rewatched the remake of It. It was good. Yeah, nah, it's alright. I haven't seen part 2, but part 1 was good. Part 1 was great. That part where the painting comes to life, that's the part that creeped me out the most. I love the beginning, where Georgie's sitting there, and he's like, "You watch your boat, Georgie?" And he's just